I've had sent packages for me and Nelson to Carlos Colon for almost 3 years now. When I met Rip Rogers and working for Autovans, who was already been working for Carlos, and I don't know, like sending stuff and things. And eventually, I got back from my tour in Bremen, which was finishing December 30th, and January 4th, 1993, my phone rang, and it was Carlos himself telling me that he wanted me to join and take the next flight and then the next day. So January 5th, he called me on the 4th. He said, "They get a flight tomorrow and come here, we'll use you." So it happened so quickly, and they called me. But I had called for 3 years for me and Nelson. They knew who I was, and I was sending my pictures from Germany, from England, from South Africa, so they knew we were busy, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Rip had put a words to him that he saw me in Germany for auto, but just called me, and I went there. And it was kind of tough because they were behind with the payoffs. You know, like some of the guys hadn't received the payoff in 6 weeks, 8 weeks behind.
Right.
So when I first got there, I got paid every week, and then eventually they stopped paying me like the others. So me, I didn't do like the others. You know, I just I took the flight the next day. I didn't tell anyone, and I left. I came back to Montreal. 2-3 days after, Carlos called me back because I was in the middle of a program with Invader, Jose Gonzalez, the guy who stabbed Bruiser Brody.
Yeah.
So I was working a program with him when I left. So Carlos called me. I said, "Carlos," I said, I can't live, you know, without money. I have to eat, I have to train, I need my payoff every week. And now I'm like 4 weeks behind, so I need you to pay for my plane tickets, and I need you to, as soon as I get there, get my 4 weeks that you owe me." And it was a little bit scary when you know what happened to Brody. He said, "Are they calling me to give me a beating and sending me back in Montreal for having leaving the territory, in the middle of an angle? Or they really want me back and they're going to use me?" So
because you were actually working with Invader too, right?
Yeah,
so, yeah.
It crossed my mind, but I decided I was going to hop on that plane. So from JFK and changed to LaGuardia. It was a cheap plane too. I had to go with my bags from JFK, take the bus to the LaGuardia, from LaGuardia to Puerto Rico. It's long day too, but it's okay. You're starting in the business, and you don't expect the first class all the way. So got there, got my money, got paid every week. Eventually, we heard like they were bringing some guys from WWF, some big names. So I heard that the Mountie was coming to work Carlos, and I was going to work in the semi-main event against Jose, Invader 1. So Jacques came in for maybe a week. So he was presenting himself in Spanish because he speaks Spanish a bit because his mother used to go 6 months a year in Mexico. So he goes in Spanish to all the Puerto Rican wrestlers and the English wrestlers. He introduced himself in English, and he came up to me and I said, "Hey Jacques, comment ça va?" So in French. So he got really surprised that I was there, and he never heard of me. He didn't know I was existing. So kind of started watching my match and things like that. And he asked me if I had a tape. So I had put a tape of me and Nelson in different tag team match, a 8-minute tape. So showed him the tape. And Showed him some of, we had some highlights, you know, Nelson highlights move, my highlights move, and things like that. So showed him some of my highlights move and things like that. So got really impressed with that, and asked me if I wanted to go to the WWF. After a week or 2 weeks, I think he came once or twice, pretty close, and the trips were close. He took a year off from WWF for his son, JJ, who was 5 years old. He wanted to be there for his birthday and spend some time with his family and things like that. So
That was after the Mountie, right? He'd already done the Mountie.
yeah.
And you did have a successful run in Puerto Rico there, working with Ricky Banderas.
Yeah.
And a few others.
I had some great matches there. I really liked it.
Invader again as well, from what I remember, right?
Yeah. Mostly Ricky. The whole thing was around Ricky Banderas, their top baby face there, and you had Shane also, and Shane Douglas there, but not Douglas.
No,
Shane. He's from Toronto.
The Glamour Boy, Shane the Glamour Boy, who also was in TNA for a bit.
Yeah,